Reaching hell, Jason. I'm here to return the favor. I'm feeling strange, trapped in the grave. All alone, I rot in my own skin. So serious I say, a choking restraint. The perfect plane lays down in my own name. Girls rising. Girls rising. The stars remain, a deeper to see. A black shield, blinded response. From here I cling to the ones that remain. Exile without reason. The time to kill us, the freedoms we feel this. Like someone is clear to blow. We're building the power, strengthening the arm. Yeah, building the wall. Welcome to your demonstration.
People and things up there like something more.
What is going on, everybody? That was a hard start to the night, I have to say. Not fun at all. Welcome, gentlemen. How you guys doing? Thanks for waiting. And thanks to the chat for waiting too. We appreciate it very much.
Ready to roll.
Yes. Sean, you there? Jay, you there?
Yeah, man.
Yep.
Okay. Good. Well, there's been enough things that have gone wrong tonight. I just wanted to make sure that we're all good and live. So my computer decided to reboot, and then for some reason I was signed out of all of my sites, like everything. And of course, I can't remember all of my passwords for every single thing that I do. So I had to reset like 10 of them all at once. So yeah, that took about 30 minutes. So very frustrating. How do you guys
We're live
today?
though. We're good.
Yeah, we're live now. We're ready to rock and roll. Getting this thing going. Very excited about tonight. Go ahead. Wait. Oh, wait. Okay. I see what's going on here. All right. We got Sean here. We got Paul here. We got the Gooch here. We're ready to roll. We're going to be looking at Spawn 357 here on the Spawn Review, episode 19. We're going to get into the groove here, get rock and rolling on this comic block this Monday night. Yeah, look at that. You got the same cover I got.
Yeah, it's a nice one.
Yeah, I like this one. The other one was okay. We all got it. Look at that. Sean, you want to hold yours up? Be part of the club?
It's upstairs.
Oh man. That was almost a really awesome segment right there.
Yeah.
Almost. Say out of the chat real quick. We got Mark Pengrin, number one in the chat, number one in our hearts. Said Brett motherfucking Booth. Put the respect on the man's name. Absolutely. I'm gonna drop some of the Brett emojis in the chat for everybody.
What do they look like?
It's the Lost Serpent Prince.
Oh, so it's not his face.
No. Well, I mean,
that'd be cool.
I mean, it could be, but there's like only like one picture you can really find of Brett online. He's very recluse when it comes to that.
Yeah.
Des Kelly's in the house. Hail, brother. Good to see you.
What's going
on? FS Gaming is here as well.
Nice,
Hail Reaper Destroyer. Yes, I like that. Chauncey.
In charge.
Hail all. Hail to you. Great artists are flowing in here, and colorists. I gotta say, I never give a shout out to our colorists that are in the chat, but Dennis Kelly, color as well.
Killing it.
We got Duck Bacon.
Yeah.
Hail Joe, Sean, Jay, and hail the chat. Zach, hail the chat. Paul as well. Yeah. Cosmic Studios member of the channel is in the house. Great to see you. We got Pizza here, rocking and rolling with us. Another amazing artist, YSA.
Facts.
Hey to you, my friend. Hey to you. Okay. I'm gonna get rolling on this. We are very far behind, about 20 minutes behind. Before we jump into this particular issue, I know we talked a little bit about it, some of us in the group. What did you guys think of the newest issue of Spawn 357? I'll say right off the bat, I liked it. A little slow on the action, but building the mystery, building the story. I feel like we got another setup. A little confused at the beginning of the book, but maybe we can cover that together when we jump into it. But what do you guys think? Going around the horn, we'll start with Sean.
I thought it was good. Consistent as always. The reveal at the end, I think that kind of like was like a knock. I see you already.
Yeah.
And it's like the one thing I got out of it was Adelso Zinks. Like that guy's fucking killing it.
Oh, 100%.
That guy should be on everything. He's
Yeah.
just one man. But no, it's a good book. It's probably my favorite monthly book that out there. Other than that, good shit, man.
What do you guys think?
It's good. I think they're having trouble with the Lyra character. There's some contradictions in there. So
Oh, I'm interested to see your thoughts on that.
yeah, but I love the direction that again they're going with Spawn. I like following 356 into this. I think everything works because like the last book, I wasn't here to discuss it, but it's obviously a backstory of Lyra.
Yeah.
We learn about her and her father, and then this one kind of goes against a little bit what we learned in the prior book. So I don't know. It's good. It's very. I liked it. I like where they're going with it. Just I think sometimes they have trouble with character development. So.
Yeah, all around, I it's a decent book. It's definitely the best book to pick up monthly by far. But I felt like this one, it was just like I'm still going neutral, you know, like with stories I want to be like building up. I feel like I've been building up for so long, and there's just no payoff. I'm just building up to something new again. Because I know, and we'll say it at the end. Like I feel like even what they're teasing at the end, we're not getting in the next book. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's just gonna be something else there, and it's just still building. I get it, you know, build a story, but like, you know, I'd rather see some things paid off in the book. But
yeah, they're leaving us with blue balls after every book, and I think they're thinking it's really cool and tricking the audience, but it's like you're doing a little too long with this. Like it's time to take off the pants and actually get that. Yeah,
what's going on with the other books too? It kind of like threw me off. Like reading Kingspawn and this now, I'm just like, wait, so like when is he going to be a vampire? Is he not a vampire? Is this just like some multiverse fucking story now? Like, I don't know what's going on, dude. And it confused me in a sense of like, you know, they're hunting for that cure, you know, and then now he's a vampire. I don't know. It doesn't, or maybe he just had the wings. I don't know. It threw me off. I feel like if I didn't read Kingspawn, I would be less upset. But overall, I thought it was good. So.
Yeah, diving into Kingspawn was kind of confusing for me overall story wise, because same thing, like I didn't know how that really fit into the main story. Again, I don't necessarily know if he's a vampire or if he just found some way to absorb the wings and use the wings in some way. But I personally, okay, so talking to Thomas, right, Thomas Healy, when he was on the show a while ago, and he was talking about this being a year-long story. We're not going to see Nyx, we're not going to see Hell or pretty much the Green World or any of that for a year. So I get that this is a slow drip, a slow burn kind of aspect to the storytelling. I don't mind so much the pace that we were going on to. I think the first, after 350, I think the first 4 issues or so that we got, 4 or 5 issues we got, was pretty much just all action, right? Just one after the other. And I feel like we're in the point now where we're slowing down to some actual more story, you know, character development. I'm interested to hear what Jay has to say about the contradictions with the Lyra character, because he's always got a pretty good insight with that from the stuff that I kind of gauge out of it. So this story, it was very slow, not a lot of action in it, but that's fine. Like I don't always need action in the book. I thought the art obviously was amazing as always. It's Brett motherfucking Booth, you know. It's
top notch. I'm just curious, like a question for you guys, like at this point, do we even need Kingspawn? Because it kind of makes no sense.
Not really. I mean, in my point of view, and again, I'm just getting into reading Kingspawn, so I felt like been there from the beginning. You know what I'm saying?
It made more sense going to 350. Like it was like the story that you missed. Like it was him with Wanda. It was cool. Yes. It made sense. Reading them side by side, like I said, I think that's my only problem. Honestly, I feel like art's fantastic, everything. I was just like, I'm confused. Like I want to know when that's happening. I don't even know if it's ever gonna. So I don't even know if I'm wasting my time like waiting for it to happen.
To be honest, I'm gonna cancel my Kingspawn because it doesn't hit with the storyline. I agree with you, Paul. It's nothing's gelling, and I don't know if it ever will.
Yeah, because then Scorch 2 is something completely different, right? It's the haunts and the other things.
But you know what you're getting with Scorched, right?
Yeah,
like you know what you're buying with Kingspawn. At least you knew what the storyline. They kind of gelled together. They meshed. Now it's just like it doesn't resonate at all. It's like, do we even need it?
I would say at this point, no. I mean, my biggest I pay attention mostly to the main storyline. That's what we've been doing this entire time. I've been interested to get into the other books just for things to talk about on the show and to review. But to me, the main storyline is the main Spawn. Everything else is kind of confusing how it fits in. And the only thing I can think of is that Todd's trying to do, I said this last week too, like what they did in the 90s with Spider-Man and all the different titles, right? Like you had multiple different stories going on in Amazing Spider-Man, Spider-Man, Web of Spider-Man, Spectacular Spider-Man, but somehow it all fit into the same universe where he could be doing this storyline in this book and this storyline in that book. I feel like that's kind of what they're trying to do, and it doesn't really mesh. Like it's not. I do appreciate that you don't have to collect all 4 books to have this one big story arc, and you can just focus on the main book, but it does get a little confusing. Absolutely, I'll say that. Eric in the chat says, anyone going to get the Peach Momoko?
Momoko. She's doing the Ultimate X-Men right now. People love her variant covers, and I know they're doing one for Spawn. It matters how many copies they have for me to buy it or not. So like if it's gonna be like a 500, I'm definitely gonna buy like a bunch. But if not, I don't know. Might get one. We'll see.
I got you.
There. I'm setting up tomorrow, man. We're ready to roll.
Nice. Everybody in the chat, thanks for joining us tonight. Please share out the show wherever you're watching, whether it's on X, YouTube. What am I doing here tonight? Just pretty much X and YouTube because of all the hassles. So I appreciate you guys. All right, diving into this. So a little bit of confusion, I guess we could jump into right off the bat. We jump right into the agency, and we got Jason Wynn, and we're apparently looking over a demon.
Yeah,
it's just a genetically engineered creature that they've been messing with. Oh shit, went too fast. Let me pause.
I'm pretty sure it's a demon, and they're basically just like trying to figure out like how to like make them work differently and like use their powers. I'm pretty sure that's what they were going for.
Okay,
and we've seen that in other books.
Yeah, which is cool.
Yeah.
Did anybody think? Let me back up one page. Did anybody think that Brett Booth is really going for the Logan hairstyle with Jason Wynn?
Yes.
In this page, I mean, like straight up.
Right off the hop,
like really, really on the nose. Like he looks like Wolverine with the. I mean, I know that Jason Wynn has had a different kind of hair flared up with the cigar and everything, but I was like, man, that's like straight up some Wolverine Logan stance right there. I thought it was, maybe a tip of the cap. I don't know. Sean, you're gonna say something?
Yeah, Greg did that.
Did with what? Oh, the hairstyle?
Like the funky hair? Yeah. But I see where you're coming from, where he's just taking that.
Yeah, I'd have to go look back because I don't remember, to be honest with you. But I was
like
reading that.
Had some sort of spiky hair too. Like it was always something like you putting that gel in it.
Stylizing. I like
it. Yeah, dude.
This character Nero, I'd never heard of him before. I don't know if he's brand new. I don't know if he's been in there before. Look wise, I thought he had a killer look. I know Paul was like, the Doctor Strange looking dude, because that's the first thing I thought too. Is like,
right when I saw the hand thingies, I just thought of Deadpool, whatever he said. He was like the sparkle things. I forgot what he said. But super cool. I like that they got this new character. But my other thing too was like, we're in and Spawn's lost. She lost. Like we were building up like they're about to do something, and then we open the page and it's like they did something and we missed them getting their ass kicked.
Right. Did we miss it? Did it happen in the title? I don't know.
Well, not only that, we get this character and it's for nothing. Like it's like we get no information. We get absolutely nothing from this. It's like
they're asking him to try to find a cure for the vampires, and it's great splash page, great comment. I mean, like whatever it is, 3/4 splash, and then like that's what I said. I felt like it was just like I think if the whole book was them going to find this guy to see if they get the cure and it ended, I feel like I would have been more fulfilled. But
well, that and how did you find me? And it's just like, okay, that's all we get. And it's just like,
it's weird to jump right in like we're supposed to know what's going on, and that's why I was confused. Like Paul mentioned it in our group. Like when I started reading this for a second, I was like, wait, did we miss an issue? Because I'm like, from where we started, from where we left off last issue to now, I was like, this is kind of weird. Like I get the storytelling, it's a mystery, right? So you open up the book and it's designed probably to make us go like, what the hell is going on? And I get that, but at the same time, you have this awesome new character, and guys in the comments below after this show or in the chat right now, correct me if I'm wrong. I haven't seen this Nero character before, so I don't know if he's, this is a brand new introduction to the character, which is cool. He's some kind of, master of magic. Demons come to him to get, change their appearance and all this kind of stuff. And Spawn and Lyra are here to try to find a cure, to see if he's got a cure for vampirism, which is basically the entire aspect of this scene. But I'd never seen him before, didn't know anything about him, his power set, how powerful he is, what side he's on, so I was a little confused on that, but I did like the character design. It made me want to learn more about him, but he's not in the rest of the book after this. So
yeah, cool design, Nero, cool name,
yeah,
so I like it. But yeah, still lost. I opened it up and I was lost.
Yeah, the biggest thing about it was just confusing. Yeah.
And we are diving into this every, like we're actually like carrying reading this book now. So when I'm reading, I'm like, dude, what is happening, dude?
Yeah, I'm actually reading for the first time in a long time and actually like, trying to comprehend and, care about the story. Mm-hmm. And I'm getting into this, and this is the first time in the main book that I've kind of been lost on what's going on.
Artwork, fantastic. Every panel, fantastic. Like I love the way he draws their like everything.
Kayla says he was in 89. I don't remember him in 89.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you.
Oh, okay. Wait. From the fucking where Nyx is from.
Greenworld.
Greenworld.
Okay.
Yeah, is that the guy that looked like the tree goat?
Oh, okay. Well, a kid.
The what?
Guy. Okay.
Man, I don't remember this character from 89. All right. Thank you, Kayla. I appreciate it. I figured it had to have been an already existing character because they were just talking like we were supposed to know him. So that's my bad as far as not recognizing him.
And that's the thing too, though. Like when you're not like, if it's not in the last, at least let's even be generous and say 20 issues, you got to reintroduce some of these people, especially the new readers. Like 89 is insane. How many years ago is that? 12? Or 20, dude. Like,
20
dude. Yeah, I was just gonna say like 20 some. I mean,
yeah, it's crazy.
I'm actually surprised there wasn't an editor's note, because Thomas is really good at doing that.
Yeah,
of just making sure that new readers, because I mean, I like the fact that they're doing good jump off points for brand new readers, and diving into these cool characters. But again, like me, who haven't read Spawn in forever, really, and even the first 100, I really wasn't reading, about the art. So like I missed it. I saw the character. I'm like, I guess I don't know who he is.
See, and that's
was he in Curse of Spawn as well?
I'm not sure on that one.
I don't remember him. But this is where I get frustrated, because it's like, we buy these books and we have this like Spawn universe and everything, and then we get this set up from 350 even before 350 moving up, and it's almost like these are kind of like rush jobs, like they're filler books, and it's kind of disappointing, to be honest, because like I'm reading this book, like after the last book, I'm like, okay, we get to know Lyra, we get the the background.
Yeah, I thought that was great.
It's an interesting book. I mean, Brett Booth is killing it with the artwork. If it wasn't for Brett Booth, I'd be really upset with this book. But like, you get to this book and it's kind of like all over the map. Like you just like, it's very fast paced. You don't know what's happening. Like if you didn't read King Spawn about the vampirism, oh, excuse me, sorry,
bless you.
You would be completely lost. You would be like, okay, why is he looking for a cure for vampirism? Like what's going on here? Like, I mean, like besides the blood situation.
Well, I mean, we knew that Eddie, he was looking for it for Eddie.
Yeah. But like, I mean, like there's a lot of happening, like, because Thomas said that you didn't have to read the other books to follow this book. And I feel like you do have to read the other books to kind of follow along with this. And it's, but on the other side of that, they don't mesh very well. There's information in there, but that you need for these books, but there's a story that doesn't work with this. Like, I don't know. It's a complete mess. I think. I don't know what's going on.
This is the first time. This is the first time I've been confused in the main story. I'll just say that. Like up to this point, everything has flowed really, really nice. And this book hit, and I feel like we're missing something somewhere, and that's why I didn't know if if they're touching on something that happened in one of the other books that hasn't been read yet, or I don't know. But up to this point, everything has gone issue to issue, picked up where the other issue left off, just the way it should. Great cliffhangers, great character introductions, all that kind of stuff. And we took the break with last month's issue with the backstory of Lyra. And now here we are, and it's just like, it's almost like in this scene here when they're on the roof, they talk about doing this for weeks, so we've taken a little bit of a jump in time from the last issue where they decided, or 2 issues ago, where they decided to work together to get blood, and then she would join his army, I guess, after that. And so now we spent what they say are weeks now, or 4 weeks, however long it's been, that they're going back and forth trying to find blood. So there's been this kind of jump in time with that filler issue we had with the backstory of Lyra. And now I'm lost a little bit. So I'm hoping that they're going to bring that together in the next issue and kind of, pull us all together, bring us up to date on it. But apparently going to this guy, he can't help, it's pretty much a wasted trip. And they take off. I guess they got information from somebody that worked for him, and they pretty much, I don't know, tortured him to death to get to this dude. That wasn't really explained either. So again, like, I'm just like, I don't understand the opening scene of this at all. Killer art, though. I mean, I would say I like how Brett Booth is really using a lot of the angulars, these rectangular panels here to really fit in a lot of story. Like that. I like that storytelling wise, and he's still getting us tantalized here with a good half-quarter splash here and there, but he's fitting a lot of artwork into this issue, a lot more of this kind of style panel work than he has in some of the previous issues.
Yeah, I think it's really cool. I do like that that bottom left panel a lot. Especially just him jumping. It's like classic Spawn, like gives me that Batman vibe.
Yeah. This issue more than any, I think, and especially like the last page that we see of Spawn, he definitely has that vibe. Even a little Spider-Man-ish, with some of the movements that Brett's putting them in. So they track down. Spawn gets a call from one of his informants, and there's a new, I guess, gang of demons in town. They're trying to find a way through different means of technology and what they say, magic, to try to get their powers back. I can't remember what they called them. Whatever the sect was. I thought there was a specific name of the demon sect that they're using. Does anybody?
I can't remember the name of it.
I skipped too far.
But just says magic technology, gene alteration, whatever they can get their hands on that'll give them a leg up is what this gang is trying to do. So they're going to them to see if they can, if they have any information. Yeah, I guess they don't really give the name of the gang. I've also been reading Absolute Batman, so some of that story is kind of in my head at the same time. So I might be thinking of something from
I didn't read it. I'm excited though.
Oh, yeah. You're thinking of the animal.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking. Yes, that's exactly what I'm thinking of. Yeah.
See, one thing I enjoy about oh, sorry, Paul. Go ahead.
No, you got it.
Oh, Zach's here.
I was gonna say one thing I was gonna say, like, one thing that Spawn comics do a lot that normally we would overlook very easily, and I really do enjoy it because it's just a small detail, and it really does set the tone for these books. Is the bleed area is all black, every single page, or for the most part. And then it's got that white thin line for all the borders to separate the panels, and that's it.
Yeah, I like the black borders and everything. It's very moody, it gets you into the mood of the book. I've always liked that, going back to the 90s when they really started heavily doing that in a lot of books. The white borders is actually something that throws me off. I actually don't like the white borders. I would rather have some kind of color to those border panels. That's just me.
Oh, to not make it so bright, to
not make it, because I feel like it just it blasts out at you. Like I would give it just a little bit of a tinge, just one of the colors on the page, on the page itself, just to bring it together, I guess.
No, I gotcha.
So I mean, we get to this warehouse, right, and there's already demons that have been killed for days. It seems like just bodies, guts all over the place. and they do the classic horror movie trope where they split up, which is never a good idea in these situations, but that's what they do. And I guess Lyra has a power that we hadn't seen up to now, and she kind of does that old tropey thing where Spawn's like, I didn't know you could manifest energy or something. She's like, well, you never asked. I'm like, yeah.
Well, they just met. Like, how's he gonna know?
Yeah. Like, well, that's a good point.
Well, here's the problem with Lyra. Like, she starts off as a badass. She doesn't rely on Spawn. She gets her own information. She is willing to fight her own battles. And now all of a sudden she's submitting to Spawn and kind of like a sidekick. And it like, even the backstory, like leading up to this, even when we get to the next page, like,
yeah,
she has this trust thing that she expresses numerous times in the book prior about trusting. She knows she can't trust anybody. She learned her lessons. Her dad constantly taught her, and then right away the next character, she's willing to trust this character, and it's just like, wait a minute.
I get what you're saying. I see where you're going with that. Okay.
She doesn't even trust Spawn, and everybody knows she doesn't even trust him, but yet this random female in a garage
around all dead bodies.
Around
like,
dead
this
bodies.
Is the one.
Yeah.
So she hears
let me add a defense to that. So
go for it.
So because I would agree to what you're saying, Jay, but there is a bond that we as men don't get with that women have with other women when there's a crisis. But I think the biggest one would be that maybe there was a sense of her relating to that situation, because with her, she got that call and her father's, we don't know yet. Like, when her father was gone, he was missing, presumed dead, when she rushed back to the house. And then all of a sudden, like, there's just this woman who's all alone by herself in this thing when there was possibly a massacre or something that was happening outside of the walls. So I think that there was a similarity between those situations, even though they're slightly different, that maybe she kind of like put her guard down because of that.
Okay, so two things based on both of what you guys said. Just listening to both your takes. And I think I could get on board with either or, to be honest with you. I think maybe for the first time, when she showed up, she was a mystery, right? Mystery character. We didn't know her name. We didn't know why she had her powers. And she was like this kick-ass character doing all these things. But she was kind of reckless, right? She was reckless of how she went after blood. And then the moves that she made that actually almost got her killed, until basically Spawn kind of stepped in at that one point and kind of saved her at that moment. I think we're diving into the character and showing that, yeah, she's got all this, powers and this abilities, but she is very raw in what she's doing. So yeah, she's got trust issues, but I do see what you're saying, Zach. Like, she gets to this chick, and what does the chick tell her? She is a hybrid too, right? And I almost feel like that's something that throws Lyra off, because she thinks that she was the only hybrid, this angel demon hybrid. And this chick is coming saying like all these things. And maybe it is something that got her guard down. And maybe we're going to find that out in the next issues going forward, that it was like, a step back, a mistake. I see where both you guys are coming from on it.
Yeah, she went from a badass character to being a kid in one issue.
Yes.
Yeah, so and right. And I get, like, I get that.
But you set this all up in the last issue, that she has extreme, like, she lost her mother, and she had like, she's learning everything from her father, and and she feels like everything's been like, that's a lot of trauma, which right away would put up the walls for any kid that had this happen to them. So now her walls are up. Now she doesn't even know if she can trust her father. So now he has to regain her trust. That's her father. And so she's got to build up this relationship with him and learn about everything that's happening. And even that she has trouble with, because she goes to the cops and learns a lesson that way. There's so many things that she learns along with that when she meets someone, she should right away be like, no. And especially with the hybrid thing, no, because he told her it's extremely rare for ever to happen, because they would be killed right off the hop. So like, I don't buy this. Like, it doesn't play well. Like, I go ahead.
let me ask that, to counter that for a second. I think in many ways that Lyra is almost in a lot of ways she's like Spawn, how he was in the beginning. With the way that she acted in this issue tells me for her as a character that when she first appeared a few issues prior, it was kind of like she wasn't doing this superhero thing before she was meeting Spawn. She probably did like one or two things, so she's still very new to this game, which is why she's so she's taking.
No,
I don't know,
she's
man.
not.
Honestly,
She's
wait, but the
not.
only way this makes sense, honestly, like if we go like if it doesn't pay off this way, is that this girl here works for her father. Like how we didn't see the father die. That'd
Yeah.
be the only way this makes sense. That's my opinion. Like
Yeah,
would pay
it doesn't
off.
make sense. It doesn't make sense at all.
If that's just me, because I forgot, because they were like, oh, you never saw the dad die, you never saw the mom die. And
Yep.
then, their objective in this book, at least these villains, is to get her, not to get Spawn.
She is the central piece, it seems like, in the storyline. That
Yeah.
It,
So
it revolves
maybe-
around her in a lot of ways. Because as we're going to find out, no spoiler, but we're going to find out there's a reason why, was it Fixer?
There's a big
And
difference
all these people
between,
are after these guys.
Yeah.
These
between
two.
Al Simmons and Lyra. Like Al's already got a perceived notion of thought process moving when he died. Like he was a weapon already. She had to grow up and she learned how to be hardened by her father and how not to trust anybody. Even the phone call she got from her father, you cannot trust anybody. And all of a sudden she right away is like gonna like go against what her father told her and say, oh, I'm gonna trust this woman. It just didn't make any sense for me.
Well, Spawn did that a lot in the beginning. Like so granted the fact that he did die and that's what he was prior, he had no memories of what he was in his past life. He had through whatever he was doing in those moments were trigger memories for to remember specific things. And it wasn't even the full memory at the time. And the players in his life that he wasn't trusting them at the time, but he was letting them help him out and trying to get some answers, even though he always had a pissy ass attitude. Would be Cagliostro, Angela to some extent. Then you have the old lady who was God. Then you have some of the homeless people in the alleyways, on top of Redeemer, and some of those characters he was getting. He was just honing in a lot of those things that help him remember. Just kind of get him back to okay, I'm doing this myself. I'm not going to trust anybody. I don't know, So with Lyra, yeah, there is definitely like a reverse because she knows all this stuff. But I think she's kind of. I don't know. I think with female characters, there's that sense of
You can't say female because she grew up in a hardened, she got trained by her father to be a hardened individual. Doesn't matter male or female. She's learned not to trust anybody, and then all of a sudden she's willing to trust someone.
But
Here's
she's
what we
still
found
a
out.
kid, though. She's still
Here's
a
what we
kid.
found out too, though, in that origin issue, is that yes, she was trained there for a second, and then everything went to shit. The issue of 300 happened or whatnot, and then she went and lived a normal life for years.
Yep.
Away from this, getting into just normal life activities as a young woman. Because I don't know the exact age she is, but she aged up. She early 20s, I'm thinking, at the most. And so coming back into this after being cold there for like 6 years, they said that she lived a normal life before the phone call with her dad hit and she came running back. And now all we have this vampire invasion. And I think this is just serving, as confusing as it might be. I'm listening to you guys go back and forth, and I think it's actually a really good conversation. But as confusing as this might be, I do think this is just serving to show that the character, although has gone through these things, is super raw in their ability to discern situations. We don't really know the training her father gave her except to fight and to use the armor.
But how can you say that when we've seen her in previous books where she doesn't trust anybody? She doesn't even trust Spawn.
What's going on, Matt?
They've already set that up for her. What's up, Matt?
I see that when it comes to and I get where Zach's coming from. Like she hasn't trusted any of the male characters, but here is a vulnerable female character that could represent, a situation that she's been in before. She's relating
Yeah.
to her, and she drops her guard down, especially when she's hearing the stuff about her being a hybrid, which we find out is a ruse anyway. And I
But-
think it's just showing the youth of the character, which is a big thing. I mean, that's Spawn. And it's the contrast, right? Because immediately after that, Spawn comes in and can immediately sniff that there's something wrong, and he's giving this chick the business and kind of interrogating her, and comes out with this, really classic, like, I'm going to ask you, he's like, why don't you have your powers? If you are a hybrid character, why don't you have your powers? What's your powers? Show us your powers. And he pulls out this gun. He's like, I'm gonna give you the count of 5 to show us your powers. And he counts down
cool.
here. And that was a pretty cool scene. I like that aspect. So it was a kind of an interesting contrast. I get what you're saying, Jay, completely. I get where you're coming from, Zach, as well.
I just think it's convenient, and when you're doing storytelling, it just throws you off. Because like in the prior books, we've seen Lyra just be this badass female where she doesn't trust anybody in the world. She's learned so much from her father, and yes, she spent 6 years living a normal life, but it's all been reset back to what her father, like the death of her father, and knowing that she has to live this world on her own, and it only has to figure it out. So like this moment when she's trusting a female just because she's a female, I just don't buy it.
Jay, I can honestly, like, I definitely can agree with you with the points that you made. I look at it in a way where, I look at it as if this was myself. For example, like, being a young kid, and even though things have happened, right, and I should know better, I still
You take the candy from the van.
Exactly. Like, I'm still
Free candy.
I'm still doing it. I'm still like, maybe it won't happen twice. Like, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
What
I feel like it's kind of like Spawn. He's so dead set that no matter fucking what, this is how he's always going to operate to everybody. No one is special. No one's going to get that treatment. With her, I think there's still a humanity. I think there's still a sense of that humanity where Lyra hopes that some of these characters that she's going to come across, that she's going to drop her guard down, because there is hope for better, that something would be different this time.
I think it shows a lack of experience, and also shows that she's flaws in her character. Like we always complain about the Mary Sue characters, right? Like, I like that she's making a mistake here, that she made a mistake with Blood. Like, she made a mistake going after Blood, thinking she killed him in the first place, and it was a trap, right?
Oh, that's a good point.
So she's
I forgot about that.
Yeah, she's done this stuff, but she's made mistakes along the way, which I think finally got her to the point where she's like, I have to get underneath, so to speak, Al, and follow his lead. And so I think for the first time, you're actually seeing the character be more of a follower, and now you're seeing the rawness as this follower, and she goes into this situation. And again, here's another situation where she kind of fucks up. She falls right into this trap, just like she fell into the trap with Blood. And it's kind of becoming a reoccurring thing with this character now. It's just 2 times that she's been tricked by another character in the book. And Spawn he's been the one there to kind of bail her out. Although something does happen here in the next couple of scenes that's kind of interesting. I wonder why. We'll talk about it. Yeah, turn the page, man. I hit play, but yeah, we go. All right. So we hear this
part of the whole book.
Here we go. Yes.
Yep, dude. The double page spreads, man.
Great poster this would be. Great poster. Another thing that would be a phenomenal cover, but
right.
Instead, remember what you said about this cover? You're like, oh, he's going to the underworld.
I'm sorry, but
nothing to do with the book.
I'm sorry, this bitch is so lucky she didn't get impaled by one of those horns.
Well, this shows you at least that she's got some kind of invulnerability with the powers that she has, because Tremor comes flying through this wall full speed and just boom.
What do you guys think of that lettering?
Takes her out.
Do you guys like the lettering that's see-through?
No, I don't.
I don't like the see-through sound effects.
I don't like the. Well, dude,
it's like
on the right hand side. It's like on the right hand side, straight. Like, just boom. I honestly, dude, like, if this was fucking Jack Kirby doing something like this, he would have Foom just like wave through spreading it to both pages, maybe add some edges to the stroke of the actual letters to kind of like to show that there's an impact hit to it. It's just kind of like if I took Times New Roman and just write boom. I think it's very fucking quick and half-assed. It's one of those things where lettering in comics, it has the art in lettering has dropped in modern comics extensively. Because if you go back to old comics and you look at the way they did their lettering, it was also in itself a form of art. It would
Well, yeah, because it was also
complement
done
the
by
action.
hand, like, and now
Well,
everything's
not
done.
only that, you can,
Well,
I
most
mean,
things are
dude,
done
on
by
fucking
computer.
Illustrator, you can curve that stuff. You can invert it. You could do so many things digitally. And it's such a myth when I see something like that.
As far as the see-through aspect, I like it because it allows you to see more of the art.
Mhm.
I think this would have had just as much impact if it didn't even have the sound effect in there.
Would it?
But honestly, I didn't even notice it, to be honest with you. Like, I was looking at the art itself. The one thing I noticed was in the printing, the pictures don't really line up. You got this big, thick black line going down the center of the pages, which usually isn't there in a floppy. That was the one thing I noticed. But as far as like the image and the impact and the scene, I thought it was an excellent way to bring that character in and to bring us back, because going forward here in the book, we find out that this chick is actually the character from 3 issues back when we first see Tremor and that chick and Jason Wynn. Is it 2? Okay, 2 issues back when you see these characters, and now it's like, oh yeah, that's right, I forgot about that because we had gone down, gone in a different direction after those last 2 books. So now here we are.
Let me ask you something.
Yeah.
Sorry to intervene. So I read up to King Spawn issues 1 through 13 to kind of basically, I wanted to start getting familiar with that series. I haven't gotten to Scorched yet, but one of the things that I noticed was that Tremor is one of the characters that was led by Bazail or Azrael or Azrael,
Okay.
who were trying to push Spawn to the throne. And one of the things that Spawn was saying, he's like, if I do take this throne and save Wanda and stuff, best believe I will come after and kill every single one of you. Tremor was one of those characters that he annihilated.
Okay.
And it same thing with Jason Wynn. He was another one of those guys that he slaughtered. And it like gets me thinking, I'm like, how did Tremor come back from that? Because in some way he's also a demon.
Yeah, that's interesting. Like, having not read those titles or reading the lead up to issue 300 or even the lead up to issue 350, I'm kind of lost on some of these characters that are popping back in now. I thought it was a great introduction, great scene to bring these characters back. Then this chick, hits this button on her shirt, and boom, there she is in full costume. And now here we are, these 2 characters that appeared 2 issues ago. And they are here to get what appears to be Spawn, but we actually find out they are here for Lyra herself. And Spawn, oddly enough, just disappears. We see him in the very top panel.
But is it so odd though? Is it so odd that man does that shit all the time?
It's interesting to me because Fixer comes in here too and blasts Lyra from the back and knocks her out after she put up a little bit of a fight against Tremor and this chick. And it's just like, I'm thinking to myself, like, yeah, he says, Spawn took off probably because he knew he wouldn't be able to win the fight. I'm just like, but that doesn't really sound Spawnish to me, right? Like, even though
because he knows he could die now. And then the only thing that's like logical and why that guy just shows up real quick is he has been following them every issue. He's always been like a little bit behind them.
Yeah.
The whole way through. And I think his design's sick. I love the
character designs are
Venom Marvel character, Tremor.
He's definitely somebody we know. So like under that
the Fixer
gear, yeah, he's definitely somebody we know. Because
that's an interesting thing
about it. I was like, nah, he knows him.
That's actually interesting. I have not thought about who he actually could be this entire time. That's you just made me think about that. Yeah.
Want me to give you my guess? Yes. And I know this is kind of far fetched, but I
what
really
you got, man? Throw it out there.
It's Chapel.
Who? Get the fuck out of here!
I think it's Chapel. In my opinion,
he's a white guy.
But Chapel's black.
Yeah.
Did they show him?
Well, we thought Zack was black.
Did they show him on that yet? Though.
Yeah, we did.
Well, he's got a little bit of area where his
boy.
mask is, where you can see.
Oh.
Yeah, he's white.
Zack don't see color.
Okay, never mind.
But Todd would never be able to use Chapel.
See nothing.
Is the only thing.
I don't
Boosh.
remember. I don't remember the part where his skin was
Zach,
showing.
with the
Shit.
big reveal and it just falls flat.
No, because I was like,
He's like, hear me out.
I was gonna give my
Yeah.
reasons, but the
No, you
minute
did
you
the Michael
guys said,
Jackson
"Oh,
thing.
he's
Kanye
white,"
West.
like,
It's
He
Barack
goes, "You know who
Obama.
Luke Skywalker
Yeah.
is, dude? Samuel Jackson, dude.
Yeah.
No way.
James Earl Jones
boy?
got the best of dead.
You gotta tell what issue did it show the skin coat? Because I'm about to pull that open so I can see
Go
it.
back
wow.
to when he was fighting the vampires in issue like 351 or 352, whatever that issue
Yeah.
was. And they show like the close up on his mask that you can see like his skin.
He's white.
Because I mean he's definitely a white
He's
boy.
white
that's
in
for
this
sure.
book. Like it's right in
And
front of your face.
I like the
Actually,
wham
okay, let me
on
open
the
it up.
top.
Yeah, he might be. Let me get to the last page there.
I like that wham, but again, the boosh see
he's
through.
white.
Like I don't like. I don't know. I feel like they're trying. Like they're swinging. You know, you got to try different shit. I get it. You know, but I don't know. I've never seen a boosh before.
Boosh.
A boosh.
You know what's funny about sound effects is like I see them, but I never really say them in my head.
I say them.
Yeah.
Because my letter did it on like one of the last ones. He was like, he covered the whole art, like kind of like that, and it was like a see-through thing. I was like, bro,
Yeah.
delete that shit right now, dude. I was like, yo, there's no way I'm happy with that shit.
Yo, you guys ever like whenever you see sound effects in the comics, you're like making it like make the sounds yourself like out loud just to make sure.
I actually don't. It's weird. Like I see it and it fits because it's the visual of like what a comic book looks like and the sound effects, but I never like actually read it unless we're doing shows like this and we're
Oh
we
yeah,
actually
you're right.
pronounce
I
it.
see it. Damn it.
So, but
Oh, yeah.
that does still beg a good question of who this character is, and is it a character we've seen before as opposed to a brand new character? I like that aspect of it. There is a reveal of a character that has been in these series before that is actually the Fixer. Now that would be kind of cool. I don't know who it would be, but I'm down for it. So anyway, to wrap up this story or this issue, Tremor, Fixer, and this chick who I still don't know whose her name is. They do mention it here where they say Snowball. I don't know what.
I just
There's-
wish that Todd would fucking explain the gauge, power gauge, like in one issue at
No.
least or something.
Yeah, I
Love
mean,
the,
the only thing I
that-
can think of is it's just counting up. Eventually, he's going to get more and more power back as it goes, But if you were doing like this not that this is a reboot, right? But this is a jumping off point with 350 where you basically inverted the original Spawn, where he started out with the power and we're counting down. Now he's got no power and we're counting up. If this is going to be a theme that they're going to keep him like this for a good long period of time and slowly power him back up like they did in the original book where he wasn't as powerful as he was, a few years back, then I could see this, slowly counting up and no real plan because he had no real plan in the beginning for the countdown either. It's just a cool thing and eventually you'll figure it out. So maybe that's something along the lines as well. I
Well,
don't know.
we're 7 months in, so it's going to happen in the next 5 months because we know the first year we're not going to see anything, right? So
Yeah, the first that first year until we see Nyx. So I'm assuming something big is going to happen, that he might get a power up when that happens. Like Nyx comes back, maybe everybody does get their powers back, or maybe they get their powers back, but they're not as powerful as they were before. They're depowered still, but they're not humans. Something's going to happen like that where the counter is going to go up. Sheldon Martin said the first time I seen a boosh was in the 7th grade.
The more that I've been reading the other titles, the more I'm starting to understand that prophecy
Nice.
is the prophecy for Al Simmons is that he's going to turn into something extremely OP where he will, like, everyone will die and he will be the new king of hell, right? But then, but then we have Nyx as the ruler of hell. But then after that, it's like, well, she's probably going to decide, does she want to be that anymore? Or does she have a master plan to fucking, like, switch it on Al, like, force him to be it, to give up the crown? And,
Right.
it's just, it leaves me with more questions is what he's trying to do with the story.
400
And,
takes the throne.
Yeah, dude, I'm honestly,
Yeah.
no, I'm not going to lie. I really do think.
You think they're going to stretch this out to
I think
400?
he's
Well,
gonna-
I mean, now you say
Of course.
Now you say it, I
wouldn't be
guess
surprised
they
if it
could.
was 450.
I think Spawn is going to go on. Like, it's not stopping. There's no fucking.
Well, no, it's definitely
we're
going
already
on.
at 350. Yeah, we're already halfway to 400. There's no way he's going to stop there, and I do think that Spawn is going to take the throne. Al
It's either
Simmons is so
Spawn
far gone.
or Wanda will take the throne.
I really think Wanda should take the throne at some point.
I
To be
don't
honest,
think she's going to.
That's what I
but
thought was gonna happen when you turned the page. I thought Wanda had the throne. That's what I thought they were
Yeah.
going for. So I was
Wanda
wrong.
was a prisoner for quite some time in Green World until she was freed. And I don't think that she's gonna. It's an interesting idea, man. Now I'm
Another
thinking
great
about it.
panel that could be the cover right there.
this could have been an awesome cover. Yeah. All they have to do is
Mhm.
take one picture of Brett's per book and just make it a cover, and I would be fine with that.
You know
Just
what
to
cover
have-
he did this week?
Gunslinger.
Rat City.
Rat City. Yeah, he did.
Oh,
Rat
that
City
came
cover.
out?
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw the
I
ninth
did.
one was his
Still-
cover. It almost had me. I was like,
Yeah,
Still,
right.
yeah, still not picking that up.
But
Yeah,
I would say
I
I
want to.
can't
Oh,
jump back
not
into
that.
that right now.
I'm
Maybe
not doing that again.
if somebody reads that and
Ugh.
tells us it gets significantly better, but that's just a
Nah.
title I can't jump back into. It wasn't, just wasn't. We've covered it.
Yeah.
Let's
Oh,
jump
I-
on to this.
I wiped my ass with that. That was just.
All right, let me ask you guys genuinely, what makes Al Simmons so special as a Spawn for him to be the one to end everything, to
What?
pretty much stop the war, like pretty much be the end game? Like, why him? Because I'm
He's
stumped.
player
I got-
one, dude.
Yeah,
His
that's
story.
just what it is. Yeah.
He could
That's
be
like
God.
asking. That's like asking what makes Jesus so special.
Well, I know that I know
He's
because of the
fucking
obvious that he's the main character of the book, but with everything that he's been doing and from what I like, all the actions, the specific things that
He's the only
been
one
doing
that's
in the
really
title,
rebelled. And that
he's
was-
really done more than any other Spawn so far.
I think
And-
it's because Todd set it up right with the story of Al. It was doing everything for love, the love of his wife, to reunite with his wife. And that
Wanda.
might have been something that set him apart from everybody else that did it for, you're selling your soul for whatever, for power, for another chance of whatever you would do,
Yeah.
where his character was uniquely different than every other character because he came back specifically for love. And love is a very powerful thing in any genre of literature storytelling. Like, love is a huge component, So I feel if anything, that might be something that set him apart, that allowed him to be as rebellious to Malbolgia and the system and heaven and hell, all that, because he didn't care about any of that. He only cared about one person, and that was Wanda.
Mm.
Just my thought on that. So anyway, all these characters, they take Lyra away, and they're taking her to Jason Wynn. Apparently, they were after her the entire time. And Spawn dipped out for a second and just kind of let this happen. And apparently he's going to track him. So I don't know if this is a strategic thing Spawn's doing so he can track them back to whatever's happening and, bust in on Jason Wynn and all them, or what it was about. But I thought it was kind of odd that he just completely dipped in that last scene, allowing her to be taken.
He's gonna be like, I did it because I wanted to know where they were going.
Right. Yeah. And that could have been, like, who knows?
That's how
But
I
like,
read it.
we get this badass pose though. I mean, like, this was a sick pose. Like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right, Paul. This should have been a damn cover of this book. I mean, good Lord. This
I'm
is some
happy I let
beautiful-
him know that he should be doing all the covers. I'm happy.
Oh,
he knows.
dude, we told him that when he's been on the show before, or
Yeah.
like, whatever Todd's doing when it comes to the covers, that's on him and his business philosophy. I guess I don't get it, to be honest with you, but it is what it is. At least we got Brett on the interiors book.
That's it.
The covers, I have to say, if they were selling the book only on the covers, I would
have dropped it years ago.
Yeah, I was gonna say that would not be that would be a hard sell for me. That was all it was about.
I gotta be honest. This cover just didn't make sense with this issue.
None of them do really.
None
right?
of them do, Zach.
Yeah, I know,
None of
but
them
like
do.
this one more so. I'm like, bro, he's
But
like,
this
on
one
a
was at
boat.
least dope.
It was a cool cover, and I liked it, but it made me think of the possibilities of story when I'm thinking of this overall story, right? And then I look at the next cover, I'm like, okay, well, where are they going with this? And that has nothing to do with the the story of the book, anything except for just it's an image. That's the only thing I don't like. Back in the day, they didn't do a lot of story covers. They did a lot of pinup covers with Capullo, but they were at least very, very interesting to the point where it seemed like it was on track with the storytelling, right? Whether you'd have him on his throne or, you know, bunch of worms and shit like that, you know, like something that was playing into the actual story itself, even though it wasn't a storytelling cover. These are just random artist pinups, and not that they're all bad. You know, there's some that have been pretty cool, but they just don't have anything to do with the story. And it's an interesting choice, I guess. So overall, I know we had some mixed opinions on this issue. Overall, I liked it. I enjoy getting a little bit more of the storytelling and the mystery. And don't get me wrong, I like action, but now that I'm really investing my time in reading this, I like the slow drip of the storytelling. But that's always kind of been me. Like, I like that in TV series as well. I like episodes that are just kind of like the slow burn, just a little bit here, a little bit here, because it's constantly making me wonder and think about the story, which, you know, I think is a good technique when you're telling the story. I liked it. This wasn't my favorite, obviously, but I would still give it I'd give it a 7 out of 10. Like, I was still entertained by it. That's what I would do. Guys, what do you think? Sean?
8 out of 10, only for Brett and Adelson.
I like it.
That
Okay.
Tremor piece is fucking fire. Everything else was, man.
Yeah, beautiful.
I give it a 7 out of 10. It was kind of a filler episode. I mean,
Yeah.
I have issues with Lyra, but I mean, you guys made some solid points tonight, so yeah.
Yeah, I'll go the same thing. I'll go 7, and just based off the fact, but like I just don't like, because it gives me that feeling. It was like the same thing. Like the reason why like I don't read too much DC or Marvel is like everything's a fucking filler issue, and I just want to see what happens. You know, I just want to see what happens next. But yes, Brett Booth's the best. It's $2.99. You can never go wrong with a $2.99 book.
Facts.
And it's still only $2.99. You know that shit's ending soon. So
I was just gonna say, I wonder how long they can really
yeah.
string that out for. You know, like hopefully for a while. I really appreciate it because it allows me to buy, you know, more.
How good
books.
did that toy Kickstarter do? Because you know that's helping them out.
Dude, it was like the number 1 toy, and the number 2 was the last one.
I can't remember how many. What
Like
the
a
actual-
million.
Yeah. Speak truth. Keep speaking the truth.
yeah, no, that's
I'll
true.
go.
what are the
Zach, real
sales
quick. I
scores
mean, what
on?
was your rating? What was your rating on the book, Zach?
I
this
give it
issue.
I give it a 9 because
Nice.
every single issue has just never been a disappointment to me. It really
I can get down with that. To be honest with you.
it's because like obviously we can pick apart with all the reasons that we've been given, but as a whole, dude, I've never been this excited to go to a fucking comic store and be like, I gotta get
Whoa.
this book.
Hands down, that's still the
Spawn
case.
has been doing that every single time,
Mhm.
and it's never been a disappointment. Granted, is it slow? Is there maybe an inconsistent here and there? I have questions, but I know they'll eventually get answered. But they're doing it pretty well, and I'm sorry, there's no other book right now that's like competing with them on that
Yeah.
caliber. And
Tell him, Zach.
I agree. No,
I mean,
like it.
Violator, that whole thing was really great. I mean,
Honestly,
like,
I read that.
yeah.
Yeah, I still gotta
So-
get that. It didn't come into my store, so I know issue 2 is gonna be coming out. So I gotta figure out what the hell is going on with that.
Yeah,
I
my
thought
store
that
had
was,
issue 2, and I was like,
Every other
Yeah.
month.
Well, we'll find out. We'll,
All right.
we'll-
Kayla.
yeah, I don't know. We'll figure it out. Yeah,
Tell us.
Kayla, tell us what's going on there in the chat. Yeah, overall, 2 issues in a row that were kind of slowing down. After the fast, furious pace that we had with all the action and everything, and this one, I'm hoping they pick it up. I'm hoping they pick it up here in a little bit. I do see Paul holding up a book there. Before we get out of here, let's do a little bit of shilling. Paul, you want to tell us what is going on
yeah.
with that?
Yeah. So I was super excited. I'm teaming up with he's the real, and then you do the number 1. He was the FKA Enzo Amore in WWE. We have our new IP coming out, Lethal
Nice.
Leopard. I have all these prints ready for New York Comic Con. So look at that
All
marketing.
right, look at
genius
that.
ball. So you can scan it. You find the Kickstarter. You can find it on one of my pages, Lethal Leopard. Follow the pre-launch. It's going to be fucking awesome. And then, yes, of course, I got my baby too, Project Naosis. Same art that's on the cover is on the interiors. I don't fucking play.
I like it.
And that's Lethal Leopard. It's literally the craziest fucking thing I've done. It's outside Project Naosis, has nothing to do with it. It's going to be something crazy. So basically, it's just like, we made this character that's based off him. It's going to look exactly like him, but he could shapeshift into a Anubis character. And of course, we have
Nice.
he has the crazy wrestling gears and stuff like that. So we're doing some cool shit with that. And I get to play kind of in that underworld realm, that I can't play with because there's no gods or anything in Project Naosis.
Right.
So I definitely want that Spawn, Dragon Ball Z aspect, which I'm going to have a lot of fun with. And we're going to have the first 4 pages done. It's going to work like all my other Kickstarters. We're going to go in there 80% finished, so there's no bullshit. And
Nice.
Ready to fucking roll, man. This is what I was so excited to tell you guys. And I definitely think it's going to blow the fuck up.
I like the design.
Awesome. Yeah.
Who's the
I like
colorist?
the design.
Colorist is always the one and only Prasad Rao. He colors all my Project Naosis books. It's my homie. He's done some Action Comics covers now, and we're excited, man. He's the best. He really is the best. I text him some stuff, and I'm like, do this, and he just brings it even to that next level of coloring. That's why I really love, especially the modern age of how modern age is just the coloring is just off the charts.
Yeah. No, it's looking very good. You also have Project Naosis here. Let me pop this up real quick for everybody. I don't have links today, unfortunately, because I had all the problems with my computer. So this show might not have all the links, but go back to some of the previous shows. We got links. If you're live in the chat, links are being dropped by some of our mods. I appreciate you guys right there as well. But we are all creators on this show, artist creators. So we love to talk comics. We love to talk Spawn, but definitely check out the projects that we were doing. Give them a like, back them, all that good stuff. We also have Type 1. That's not it. This is it. There we go.
That's not the one.
That's not the one. This is the one.
That's the one.
Type 1 by Sean Ahrendt.
Whoa.
All right. Find out why the mysterious Type 1 armor chose Thomas the Heart and what connection it has to the 9 Lords of the Night from the Mayan Aztec lore, and why Thoth and the Anunnaki created these safeguards centuries ago to protect us from false gods and beyond. All pages of Type 1. Don't be a bum. Back Type 1.
Don't be a bum. Back it today. I am working on the cover. I've been working on the cover for a while, right?
What?
I swear it's getting worked on. I just
It's
touched
all
it
off.
off. I was actually doodling on
No,
it.
but we're not showing that shit off yet. We need the fucking final tightness.
Oh,
for these people.
Nobody's going to see the
shit.
final, man. Nobody's going to see the final. You were just seeing a small little,
what is
it?
If I may, I actually my boy Ken, colleague from the Cuber School, he just launched his Kickstarter today.
Nice.
He had me do a variant cover for him.
Hell yeah.
So I finished that up. So that cover is going to be offered. Air Rider. It's about a boy who is the son of a school shooter who has major anger issues and is trying to hone them. And he attends a high school where half the student body is superpowered kids, while the other half is just plain normal, and they have to learn to coincide in the school. And he doesn't start dishing out punishments until his own friend that is super close to him gets hurt. And he just he starts donning on a costume, and he just starts taking down superpower individuals. So, which is actually interesting. The first issue was really good, so this campaign for the second issue, and the bonus story that's in that is a story of my character Sonderon, where Air Rider meets Sonderon. So he did the artwork, but it was funny that he wanted to collab with my character and his, and it's a creative take. So honestly, if you guys are down, definitely back this book. It's a really good read. Ken's a good storyteller.
Hell yeah.
Cool.
Hail Silver Ogre, good to see you. We also have Reaper Destroyer. That is, the book is at the printer. I have to get a new proof for the black and white because that's just not coming out for some odd reason the way I want it to come out. So I'm having to do some tweaking on that, the black and white version of the book, I should say. But the main book is being printed. So we're tweaking some stuff, making sure everything's right. But this is my book, Reaper Destroyer. You guys have seen it if you've been on this channel before. If you like everything you see here, you're going to love this book. If you love Spawn, you're going to love this book. It's very much the dark anti-hero, supernatural characters that you love from the 90s here, but it's a very, very deep expanding story, I'll say. So check it out. We're not going to spend too much time on here because we talk about this all the time, but check it out if you like it. Links are down below or links are in the chat. Reaper Destroyer at the printer. We'll be talking to Paul here at some point, picking his brain about a Kickstarter because I want to get that rolling here sometime in the next few months. Since the book is done, ready to go, we'll throw it up on there and see what we can do as well. Gooch, I know you've got stuff in the works. I know that it's probably far from getting launched, but you know, I know that you are excited about the project you're working on. But what do you got to talk to us about?
Yeah, Jay. What do you got?
Well, yeah, I am writing my book. I've been talking with Zach, and I think Zach and I are going to work on it together because my time is very, very limited. Very limited. This is
Thank you, sir.
Stream number 4, and I'm going to another stream right after this on Moxie Games.
He's just nonstop, people. He's just nonstop.
And then tomorrow night, we got on Diabolical Souls Presents, we're doing the last episodes of Invincible season 2. And then Wednesday is the night everyone needs to swing by. You got to buy some art from that guy down there.
Oh, yeah.
There. We're having an art auction for Zach, and we're going to be selling some of his pieces. Again, this is your chance to do the promo, Zach, but you know. But yeah, he's going to be selling some art. There's going to be an live auction, and if you guys want to swing on by and pop in for a little bit, you're more than welcome, everyone. And so, yeah, swing on by for that, and then of course, you know, I've got tons of stuff on the go on my channel, so it just keeps on going.
Hell yeah. Well, so next, actually, in 3 minutes, we are going over to Appreciating Comic Book Art Live. We are looking at Batman and Robin All-Star Special Edition, which is the all-penciled version by Jim Lee, which is really, really fun, really, really awesome. And since we lose...
Damn it, dude. The fucking 7-page spread or something like that.
You had to do that tonight, you son of a...
Not that one. It's the issue one of it. But it's we were talking on Thursday's show about Jim Lee and Jeff Loeb getting back together again to do the main Batman book in 2025 that we're really excited about. So I figured let's take a look at the last time he did a really good Batman story, and that was Batman All-Star. It never finished. It was something that never got finished. Maybe one day they will, but this penciled version, it's a fun version. We're going to dive into some really awesome art and check it out. So check, if you are in the chat, you will automatically be sent to that chat in 2 seconds. So thank you everybody for joining us tonight. Great Frank Miller story. He needs to finish it, and I think that was it. You know, but he did give us the phrase.
Do you think DC Comics is going to be around at that point in 2025?
Well, we'll see. Oh shit! Look at Paul's got the belt. You got the
last time you said you were TV champion. I'm the fucking Universal champion, kid.
Oh man, look at that. Yeah, okay, I got you. Yeah, my belt's sitting. I mean, you guys can't see it's laying back there, but yeah, we'll figure.
My wife's like, please don't go down there with that. Like, please don't do that. I'm like,
does she know you're on a comic book show?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. All right, everybody. We'll see you in a couple minutes over on Aqua. Until we'll also be back Thursday. We'll talk about it here in a second. But if you aren't following us in the next episode or the next show, just know that I love you. Be good to each other. Take care of one another. And as always, picture me naked. Talk to you later.
What the hell are you? Spawn. You sent me to hell, Jason. I'm here to return the favor. Until it's right, dropped in the grave.